Assalamualaikum and welcome to Gossip by DOPStv. So just now we were talking about censorship and freedom of speech in Malaysia. Are Malaysians ready? What do you girls think? Are Malaysians ready for freedom of speech?
I don't know. I just don't think that Malaysians are totally ready, or at least I think we are divided into a few groups. You know, some are, give it to me. Freedom is, what we need. But some, if you give that kind of freedom, I think they jump. They're like, what's going on? Malaysian kita kan macam ada, orang kata apa? Certain way of thinking. Yeah, the certain adab, and those, which is good. We're not saying that it's bad. But if we tap them there, and we choose to go into a different direction, the direction that they do not understand or they cannot relate, then they will go, hey, what are you doing? Hey, this is not right.
Get sensitive.
And furthermore, we are in a world of internet, of social media and such. They talk about it. And when they talk about it, things will get ugly. Things will definitely get ugly. Nowadays, everybody is about, everybody wants to share their thoughts, right or wrong, but they're just gonna share it.
So do you think that limitation, censorship is actually important?
I think we need a good balance. We do need a good balance.
And how do we know what's a good balance?
That's a good question. I think that's the one that is still being discussed. It's still being debated about where do limitations lie. We know that there needs to be balance. Like for Islam, is a very balanced religion. It's a very balanced way of life. And I think to be honest, I think because of the fact that we have our rules, our do's and don'ts in Islam, it should make it easier for the rest of us to understand where should we stop and where does it end? Where does freedom of speech and where does freedom of creativity start and end? Because we have the benchmarks, we have a guideline in the Quran and in the Hadith. So it's just that we're not putting it into practice, unfortunately.
How I think about freedom of speech, I think it's already happening. I feel it's already happening. I mean,
with the internet,
especially,
yes,
and you see people from all walks of life, age, kids talking, commenting things on internet.
What people know is what they've been taught, and sometimes I think for us as being in the media, in the broadcasting line, that is the role that we've been given to play as well, whether we wanted to or not. I mean, I certainly went in with the best of intentions in order to come up with a show that was informative and that was educational. But unfortunately, because of the agenda, unfortunately that role and the guidelines, it started off that way. But because of ratings, because of money. In my case, it was listenership. For you, it's readership. For you, both of you, it's viewership.
Ratings,
So we are dictated. It's dictated to us what we're supposed to talk about, on air. And I find that sometimes, I know I mentioned that sometimes we brush the topics, the meaningful topics, the hot topics that Malaysians are generally talking about. I feel that they're being swept under the carpet because here we are, entertaining the masses. We're all about, everything is hunky-dory. There's nothing negative going on. We're all good. It's all good here. But honestly, we're not that stupid. I feel like Malaysians are not given that space, or as if we are told that our listeners or our viewers, our readers are stupid. We're not giving them the benefit of the doubt. They are intelligent. And if they listen to us or they read you or they watch us and they can tell that this is fluff. This doesn't mean anything. So they will go elsewhere to look for other forms of sources where they feel like, hey, we're being told the truth. Oh, this is intelligent. You know what I mean?
So I do know what you mean, because I question all these things as well. It's like, why can't we do stories that are more meaningful? Stories there are about life, that questions all these things, that has values, basically, you know? Because everything, what you see on TV, it is all fluff. It's all about what is it? The normal storyline, marriage, breakups, whatever, all those love stories.
Polygamy,
It doesn't add any value. I'm so sorry, but it doesn't. It doesn't. And it's so frustrating.
Why do you think that is, though?
Ratings, right?
It's all about the ratings. Because when I question like directors or a lot of times producers, and they will tell me like, you know, that's what the audience wants.
Really?
And then I'll go like, how do you know? And then they will say, look at the ratings. It sells. So the question is right now, are ratings everything? Should we go do whatever it takes to get ratings? You know, whatever, you know, even talking about small things that don't matter, things that don't add value, just for ratings.
I do feel that there are ways for us to change the situation. I mean, again, I would love to touch on the balance of everything. You know, it's like feeding people.
We are the ones who's feeding them.
We feed them. We can't keep feeding them with junk food.
Yes.
They'll be fat and unhealthy. So we need to start giving them, you know.
That's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're feeding the junk food. Oh my gosh.
So I mean, I do hope, you know, medias, TV stations and everybody, I do hope they understand this part. It takes time.
But I also realize that sometimes I have friends who would talk about all these things, and then somewhere along the line they will forget about it, because they'll go like, you know what? I give up. I can't fight the system. I'm only one person, and I can't be doing this myself. And it's sad because you see that, you know, you see like, okay, this person is going towards a better direction, and they give up halfway because the system's too strong. What we get sometimes is, well, what we don't get basically is we don't get jobs when we do those kind of things.
When we argue
When
with
we
them.
argue, when we question, when we challenge certain people, we don't get jobs. So it's very unfortunate. It's so sad. I don't know.
So, you know.
I think that's a very good point.
Yes.
That, you know, and that's something that I think we should discuss in the next segment.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I do see that the media does play a role in controlling the mindsets of Malaysians, and I can see that especially in the older generation, the ones who read the Assalamualaikum, my name is Dilly, and if you enjoyed what you saw and heard today, for more shows like Gossip and more, do subscribe to DOPStv.